Hey there. Well, in case you don't know me yet, I'm Jen Miner, the owner of Thrive Health and Wellness, and today I am talking about your thyroid. So, if you suspect there may be struggles or concerns with your thyroid, maybe it's shown up on blood work, maybe it's not showing up on blood work, but you're like, all the symptoms are there. I know there's a concern here. Maybe you're on thyroid medication and you want to prevent having to go on more thyroid medication. That's always something that is possible too. So it's really important to understand how our thyroid works, the role that it plays in our health and our healing processes, so that we can properly understand how to best support it. Okay. So, one really important thing to keep in mind is that the thyroid is not generally operating on its own. So, whatever it's doing in response to its environment, in response to the context of the terrain, okay? So everything around the thyroid, the resources that it has available, it controls our metabolism. That is true. But the way in which it does that, we say that, but that's a broad term that we can't really always, well, we can't wrap our head around, right? Until we understand what does that actually mean? It controls our metabolism. Well, it's helping to determine how quickly cells perform their tasks, okay? So it's like the body's throttle on the engine, all right? So it does what makes sense based on the resources that it has available and the energy that the body is producing, okay? And then it decides, well, how much energy needs to be diverted to outside survival? Now, to determine this, it's going to get that information from your cortisol levels. So our stress activates our cortisol, caffeine activates our cortisol, over exercising activates our cortisol. So these are all situations where it can say it's going to use those cortisol levels to determine that, wait a minute, I need a lot of energy for external survival, okay? Just so that I can survive this world I'm living in, okay? So it doesn't necessarily correlate to what's going on inside, but it's it's assessing the situation based on your cortisol levels. So we can beat it like whipping a horse, right? By giving it this medication to stimulate things, or giving it this the hormone, okay? But the thyroid's trying to make an intelligent decision based on the entire health of the body, not just on this hormone. And this is one of the dangers that we get into when we start isolating things down into individual parts, okay? Because everything is interdependent on other processes and other areas in the body. And it's really, really important. So it's not its own separate thing. It doesn't just decide not to function, okay? There is always a reason. So when it sees that we're diverting too much energy to all these other processes, like, and maybe we are overexerting energy in digestion. Maybe we're overexerting a lot of energy to this external survival situation. Our stress levels are really high. It's going to tell everything else, hey, you got to slow down because we've only got X amount of dollars in this bank account. And right now, so-and-so over here is using up like 90% of them. So we're going to have to peel back a little bit and try to preserve a little bit because we want to keep on living. We want to keep on breathing, right? So if we just look at thyroid hormones and blood work, we're going to miss the mark every single time when it comes to a root cause approach and actually supporting the body's healing process. What's happening when we see that stress, it's showing that our health bank account balance is just too low to perform all of these functions, okay? So when your bank account balance is too low, we need to raise the health bank account, right? So we're gonna start with diet, which is what I like to call fuel, okay? And lifestyle practices. And then from there, we're going to build with targeted supplementation that's going to do just that. It's going to raise your bank account. So if you need to raise your bank account, now's the time. Let me know, reach out.